I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring our opinion on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to our YouTube, click the bell icon so you can be notified of new shows. Leave a comment, tell a friend. Go to the link in our bio, click that link so you can get our merchandise, so you can buy our books, all those things. So, go bang our Cash App. Give us some money so we can keep giving us this good information, these good opinions on these topics about the black community. And just make sure you tell a friend. I'm your host, Mark B. Let's bring the crew in. I think I forgot to say the blackest radio show on the internet. But anyway, that's what you get when you freestyle. So listen, our 200th episode, and we still together for the most part. Shout out to C. But 200 episodes, y'all. I mean, when we started this, did y'all even think that we would still be rocking like this, or did you even have any expectations?
Definitely didn't have any expectations, but I mean, once we started going, it just feels like just part of life now. So it's like now it's like I'd be like, man, I ain't talked to them in a while. I'll be having like little withdrawals sometimes when I haven't talked to y'all. Like, what are they doing? Why are we not arguing about something?
I got tight that y'all didn't respond to a text I sent, and I realized that the actual Instagram post didn't go through. I was just like, fuck you.
I was wondering about that. I was like, you know what? It must have been the wrong group chat. He was sending that in.
No, it is actually funny. I need to go find it so I can send it to y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so I ain't even saying that. I was like, yeah, it happens. Yeah.
It's one of the things like when it's like late at night. It probably because like I was texting late at night anyway, which I shouldn't have been doing. So, it didn't go through. But yeah, man, I just, when did we start this thing, man? Like we started what, like 5-6 years ago?
Longer than that, because believe it or not, the pandemic was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The pandemic was 5 years ago?
Yeah.
2020, right?
2020.
Yeah.
So it had to have been 20.
It was like 2018 or 18, 19, somewhere around.
Yeah, 2018.
18.
And boy, listen. So we're saying this is the 200th episode, but more than likely it's probably like 202, 203, 204, because like we lost some of those first episodes. Man,
I lost tapes. Yeah.
I had accidentally clicked on a past episode, and man, when you talk about terrible, and our shit was terrible, and then I was getting mad at like people not supporting the show. I was like, man, we're doing this show, we're trying to do something positive, people ain't supporting. Now I listened to it and I was like, oh no, like, so this was like, it was like, hey Lav, how you doing? Lav be like, I'm good. And it was just like so formulaic, man. And then like, I never forget, Lav had the struggle mic. What you had, like the little mic with the little piece on it or whatever?
Yeah, I had my studio mic. I was ready to lay down some tracks,
Yeah, so we had
the little windscreen on it and everything.
Somebody had the mic where it was just like in their ear and they was talking into the headphone mic, like,
Sometimes I did because I wasn't always at home when we did the show until we started getting like a set like time, and then sometimes my ass would be out. I know I recorded one time I was out at the river. One time I was in my car. So
that was before we was on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. So we was like strictly audio, and
Yeah, she had her Arby's mic on.
yeah, but man, them earlier episodes, man, I think we always after we got the nerves out the way, it became fun, and you know, we got used to just like talking and used to the flow because
Yeah.
at first it would be like Arika, and then Arika would laugh. And now we kind of know how each other flow, so we're able to talk without talking over one another.
Yeah. And also the video helps with that too, honestly.
True.
Because when you're just doing audio, you can't see the visual cues necessarily. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't know if somebody about to talk if you can't see them.
yeah.
Or somebody has like an extreme reaction to something, you know they about to say something, so now you're just listening for it. Like what's about to come out this motherfucker's mouth.
And you know, every time I say something, I can tell when Arika's about to, because like, and I'm here she comes. Here she come with it. Here she come with it. But yeah, I think we finally got to a point like Trump then turned into Kanye for us, because like, you know, remember when we started the show, this is how far back it was. Kanye was still cool.
Yeah, he was. He was. We were still inviting him to the barbecue, man.
And then like what, he wore the MAGA hat. So he wore the MAGA hat, what, that had to be like 2019, some shit like that. And we was like, what's up with Kanye?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember the timeline on it, but yeah, I do. We man, he might be our most frequently talked about subject.
Yeah.
I think Trump might have beat him by now.
Okay. Yeah, because we ain't really delving too much into him no more. He's too far gone.
Because at this point, man, with Kanye, like you
Yeah.
could tell, like and I do not like this dude, but Charlemagne the God pointed it out, and it was actually on point. He just wants attention.
Yeah.
He just wants attention so bad. And, you know, people try to blame it on the mental illness, that, you know, his mom passing away, grieving. Listen, man, I've been there with both of those things. And, you know, the one thing I do not allow people to do is just use it as an excuse for poor behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Not consistently, especially not when you have the money. You got the money to go to therapy.
The
Like,
resources.
yeah,
People don't have.
there's plenty of people out here that, you know, they're like, shit, inflation is real. I can't afford to go to my therapist.
Yep.
I can't afford to. You don't have that problem. So, and now, you know, the latest thing, and it's so crazy because things he says now, like people will be like, oh, okay. When he used to call, like, you know, a big to do. Like the latest thing was him doing fellatio on his younger cousin. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man?
Man.
Right.
And the fact that only had like maybe a day, half a day in the news cycle, this shows you how ignorant he's been for the past few years. Because that's like sensational, and cats don't even really care.
Not right.
I'm like, who is this cousin? Because I know he's sitting in jail somewhere. Like,
Man, I saw man, one of them guys was like, imagine you the cousin, and you was telling everybody in jail, like, yeah, man, Kanye my cousin, Kanye my cousin. And then they be like, so that's you? He's like, no, I'm in Delonte West. Delonte West is my cousin.
Right. You sure suddenly became a target.
Exactly.
Like, oh, so
if he wasn't already.
Oh, so you do like those type of things.
Right.
Show me.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. So, what y'all, if you had to think about it, we did 200 of them. Favorite episode? We'll do favorite episode first. What's your favorite episode? I'll go first. I'll say like my favorite episode, probably our most popular episode, and that was the one where we were talking about Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith, and y'all know I'm not a fan of Chris Rock at all, and we was arguing hard body on that one, and posted that show, and I don't know if it was the hashtag or if this, we got the right algorithm on YouTube, but everybody agreed with y'all, and they was killing me. They was like, I can't even stand to hear that motherfucker talk. And I don't care, but thanks for listening to the show.
I know.
Because most people think like there's this new thing called rage baiting. And
Mhm.
because people get paid off engagement on social media.
Oh yeah.
And that's why like people are like, look, don't be arguing with these, white supremacists and stuff. And I learned that a long time ago because they know what they're doing. And they are like the original trolls. So even when you try to break them down with fact-based information, they'll say a little silly shit just to piss you off. So really it's just a time-wasting activity. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. And I don't do it anymore. But now you got cats. Now I used to follow this dude. I can't say that he's a straight sellout now, and I dislike him. But because he was in Kansas City, I used to follow Jason Whitlock because he would
Me
have
too.
some good sports takes. Some of them would be just totally stupid. Like he a big dude like me, and he had the nerve to write an article talking about Serena Williams needs to lose some weight if she wants to win. And like this girl's one of the best female athlete ever. And you talking about she
And
needs
that's muscle.
and she needs to lose some weight. And you big as a fucking house. And you got your nerve, right? But and he's the dude that got me to stop using the N-word. Just put it out there, right? Because he put a good case out there for that. But now he's to the point where he's done burning so many bridges with so many people. He's on this white station, and basically he's just sold all the way out.
Yeah.
So anything that he can say to denigrate Black people, he's going to do it because racist white folks are going to be like, yeah, Jason, you tell him, you tell him, you tell him. And then people like me are going to be like, you sell out, bitch. Why you keep posting this stuff? Either way, he gets paid.
Yeah.
But I'm not rage baiting. I really believe what I believe when I'm saying it, and I don't really care if I'm that one person. I'll be the one gorilla versus 100 people. I don't. That whoever came up with that scenario, man.
And so they was talking about it on the radio this morning. They was like, where did it start? Apparently, it's not new. Like it's been around for a couple years, a few years. Yeah. But this week or whatever, I don't know what happened this week. But yeah.
100 men, that gorilla gonna tear their ass up.
Tear them up, boy.
I don't know. Me and my girls, we jumped one of the Mizzou's football players, and it was tough. It was three of us, but we got the job done.
But he's
100
not a
people with that
gorilla.
type of energy. I'm saying strategy wise, but that's why somebody was like, "Yeah, that first person that run up though, it's gonna have the other 99 going the other direction."
And I'm 100% confident that y'all jumped the Mizzou walk on that plays left bench.
The punter.
Right. Y'all ain't jumped nobody who's like a top D1 athlete because y'all would have got handled.
He was. He's an All-American from Florida.
I already know who you're talking about.
Me too.
Okay. So as you said it. As soon as you said it, I know who you
They said Florida, yeah.
Yeah. Y'all to jump me, y'all got took. Goddamn, ain't no way I'm losing the three little girls.
Right. He probably held back on y'all.
Probably. It was one of the funniest fights. If I wasn't in it, it was probably funny.
Yeah.
You said what?
Nah, I'm just I listen, like, and people be like, oh man, the 100 men could get organized and take the gorilla. Man, please.
No, logistically though, if it's 100, there's no reason why 100 people shouldn't be able to defeat a gorilla. You seriously, but
yes.
If I'm part of the 100, it's gonna turn to 99 real quick. Because I'm gonna be on the look. Somebody got to tell the story.
Right.
Somebody got to tell the story.
It was a meme of Caesar from Planet of the Apes, like holding dude's head when he said goodbye. He said the gorillas letting one live so that he could go tell the story about. Sorry, but that's what the meme said. That is actually
we didn't win 198 episodes. Now you just started that bullshit.
Hey, at least she ain't say the Y letter, though. She ain't call him a Y. Yeah.
Whatever. That'd be worse. That'd be worse. Yeah. So thanks. I got to edit that out now. But anyway, so what's your favorite episode at Laugh?
Oh man, I want to say, and we all have our favorites. I want to go back to one that I don't know how much traction it got, but it's an ongoing, recurring theme when we talk about when Jay first got the Super Bowl
Yeah,
and the whole NFL aspect of it, because that's something that in America, the NFL just keeps constantly, something always happens every month, literally. And it is always a non-stop news cycle around the NFL where something comes out, and inevitably some people will go to the Jay-Z this, or he shouldn't have done it, or the Colin Kaepernick this, or whatever. And it's just a never ending story, and it's always going to be with it. The NFL is the constant in the lives of Americans.
constant plantation mentality. And
Right, problem child.
shameless plug. Go to Substack. What's it called? Substack? Yeah, go to Substack and go to my new blog. I started a new blog called Active Black Dad. I'll talk about the NFL and Shador Sanders. What y'all think about Shador real quick? Y'all think that it was calculated? Do y'all think it was retaliation against Dion and his involvement with his children? Or do you think Shador just came in too confident and didn't do well with his interviews? I mean, there's both sides. There's the side where people say, obviously, they tried to humble him. Obviously, they tried to send a message to Dion. And then some folks said, okay, well, he just thought he was too cool. And the team's just like, nah, we good on that because that's probably going to be a problem. What y'all think?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to put a team together and you're thinking in the back of your mind, if this kid is on my team, that I have to deal with his daddy's opinions, his daddy's coaching from the sideline, do I want to deal with that? So calculated, probably to a certain extent, but I would say it's more intentional about keeping Dion out of their program.
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of teams, I'm gonna say a lot, but some teams and coaches, when you draft because you want to do a good job. You want to keep your job, right? And Dion will always be in the background looming like, hey, if he's having success at Colorado, hey, he might be looking to make a splash in the NFL and move to the next level. And I don't think GMs or coaches are going to necessarily sign up for their own demise.
I don't I don't know if Dion has proven to be that good a coach.
There's coaches every year in the NFL that get hired with zero experience, even at the collegiate level. I mean, they might be assistants, but I mean, he's turned programs around. Which is really, that's all you need as a coach to me. You X and O stuff, you hire assistants for that kind of stuff.
Well, clearly, because that's what he did in Colorado.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think the fact that like Erika said, he's always going to be looming.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with that when you have Dion in the locker room, and they didn't
Yep.
even like it when Dion was in the locker room. But the guy didn't make a whole lot of dudes that can run a 4.140.
Whew, man.
So and
Yeah.
he was literally changing the power. Like, I'm gonna go to this team and they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna win. That's what he was.
Yeah.
His boys aren't that good. They're
No.
not. They're not as good. I'm not saying they're not good, but
No,
they're
they're good.
definitely
Yeah.
not anywhere near him.
No.
So it doesn't make it worth the headache. Now, the
Right.
only reason why I went down this tangent, because we're still talking about the 200th episode, y'all know I've been Mr. Anti NFL, right? And we've talked about that. Now, people are saying, now, look and see how they did this boy. And y'all still going to rock with the NFL? Has it changed y'all's opinion on the NFL?
I mean, like I said, I can't boycott something I don't watch. So
It's
I don't know. I don't know when they play. I don't know who's playing. I don't know whose record is what. So I mean, that would just be perfunctory for me to say I'm boycotting. I'm against it. I just don't watch enough to even make an impact in that area, in my opinion.
Motherfucker went from the N word to an SAT word, perfunctory.
Perfunctory.
Thank God I went to college too, and I know what it meant. But you know,
man, I think if this was to change your opinion on the NFL, then I don't think you were an NFL fan. I think you were more of a Shador Sanders or Deion Sanders fan. So you don't know the inner, I'm not saying that I know everything about the NFL or how it works, but like you just said, Shador is not Deion. And at time and time again, what we've seen throughout the NFL, baseball, basketball, whatever, is if your talent supersedes the headache or the problem that you're going to cause, you're going to get opportunity and you're going to continue to get opportunities. If they don't feel that he's that talented or talented enough, if he's an average, even if he's a slightly above average quarterback, that's not going to win in the NFL. No. There's 30 teams that have a average to slightly above, maybe a little below average quarterback, and they're not going to win.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was going to say. Like, there's plenty of white boys out there who are just average.
Mm-hmm.
They get their contract, they get money. So, but he was slated to go, first round? People were saying.
Yeah, a lot of people did have him going first round.
And then to go as late as he did,
yeah.
I could see why people will put, the tinfoil hat on and be like, yeah, this is a conspiracy, especially when there was teams that really could have needed a quarterback.
And to me, it wasn't coincidental that the Falcons coach, his son, took the number because he knew he was going to. You know what I mean? It was almost like he had a foreshadowing, or he was told that, hey, he's not going to get taken.
Yeah.
And
he took his number from his dad. His dad, for those that don't know, his dad was the offensive coordinator, or he's some coach.
Yeah, D coordinator
with the Atlanta Falcons, and he pranked Shador Sanders, which was some really whack stuff to
do.
Yeah, really whack. And they ended up finding his father because of that. Because, like you said, Lab, clearly the boy has some insider knowledge that he shouldn't have had.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah. So, okay, Lab said, the Jay-Z episode. I forgot that we talked about that. And listen, now y'all know. Y'all remember we was arguing about Jay-Z and y'all said something. I said, I'm a Nas fan. But I would have to say this. I don't have a problem with Jay and Beyonce. I'm not there. I like some of their stuff. I like more Jay stuff than Beyonce's. Shout out to her on a new tour.
Thank you. I was about to say, you don't want the hive coming for
you. And sidebar, that was really cute. She brought her youngest daughter on the stage.
Mm-hmm. That was cute.
And to see Blue, how she's grown up, that was really nice to see. Because I was looking, I was like, who the hell is that? And I was like, Blue taller than Beyonce.
Blue tall, yeah.
That's crazy. She got a daddy's height. But I have to say, man, the Jays had a pretty good run when it comes to the acts that he's had in the Super Bowl. I question when white folks gonna get tired of it. Because Kendrick,
they're not though.
Because Kendrick had the blackest Super Bowl performance ever, and I still watch it like a long form video, and I'm just like, okay, they didn't have Kendrick, they didn't have Usher, Rihanna. Who else they have out there? Who else did Jay pick? Kendrick, Usher, Rihanna,
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, my homegirl, my queen, Mary J. Blige. They didn't have some blackity black
Bruno.
Huh?
Didn't he do Bruno too?
Bruno,
or that was before him?
I think Bruno was before. Bruno been on twice though.
I think he was a guest. I don't know.
Because Bruno did one with Beyonce.
Yeah, he did with Beyonce. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's what it was.
And I thought Bruno came back by himself too. Then was Jay behind bringing the Weeknd?
I don't know.
I don't know. Probably.
I think so. That's another black artist. Even though he was, he kind of tripped out or whatever. But yeah.
But this is the thing, though, is you ask, are they ever going to get tired of it? No, because black music is American music. That's everything that's black is hip and fresh on the music scene and here. So and now if you were going to try to bring old school black artists out, maybe they might get tired of it. But as long as you're continuing to keep the hottest new artist, it's probably going to be a black guy or Jack Harlow. So I mean,
Or a black woman, or a black woman.
yeah, or black woman, yeah, you know. So yeah,
Yeah. So okay, we'll see, man. I think Jay might pick, I don't even know no white artists. Katy Perry or
Taylor Swift.
Taylor, Taylor Swift. I don't know. It's Katy Perry probably ain't even relevant right now, but
I don't think she still tours and
Yeah,
stuff, so I don't know if she has anything new.
Yeah.
I literally don't know no white artists. Y'all, you?
I know some country artists. Yeah, some country artists.
I don't know.
Who?
Not that I can name.
Jason
I just-
Aldean.
I've heard of that.
Ain't that the dude that was talking about "Tried in a Small Town," that racist song? Is that him?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll move on. Rika,
Yes.
your favorite episode?
Well, my favorite trolling people on YouTube was that Chris Rock's slap. Because people was going in the comments. I got drunk one night. I was in there lighting them up.
It was going in on me. So what was you lighting them up about?
Because it was funny. Somebody was like, nobody cares what y'all think. And I was like, Tupac cares. If don't nobody else care. I was just on there messing with people because I know engagement is like, so I was like, oh, if y'all commented, I'm gonna respond. I don't want to just leave them hanging out there by themselves. Right. And might as well be funny. So, but I love when we argue about Monique, especially them bonnets.
I knew he was. I thought, man, today, this is no lie, man. I dropped my son off at daycare, was heading to work, and this lady put up to me with the full bonnet on. And I ain't gonna lie, I looked over at her when I was just like, Monique was right.
Hey, why y'all playing? Y'all know you get your Monique was right t-shirts on our Instagram. The bottom Monique was right t-shirt. But Monique tried to tell Shannon. She tried to tell Shay Shay. She was like, look, man.
Get you an auntie.
Leave these young girls alone, man. You need to get you somebody that's older, your age. And you see where Shannon's at, man. Shannon tripping though.
Shannon's tripping for real, yeah.
He out here defending it and arguing with people.
There's no defending that. There's no defending.
No, there isn't. And not to mention
what's Shannon, 56?
Yeah, 56.
Shannon 56, and this girl is 19.
But the crazy part about it is he got a new episode just dropped with Ashley Larry, Donnell Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the most recent one I think is Bow Wow, but
no, it's within the last month or so.
Yeah, you're right.
And so he go in on Donnell Rollins because he's 23 years older than his baby mama or something like that.
Right. And they called him out on that.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you 30 years, you know what I'm saying? They ain't no 40.
And the audacity to try to what you thought that she wasn't gonna say nothing. She didn't sign the NDA.
Yeah.
Should have let you know right there.
Yeah.
I ain't even got no money. I'm thinking about making motherfuckers sign NDAs.
Hold it and wave.
Well, hey, boy, you better not, because that's work both ways. You might be able to get you some money out of it.
You're right.
Talking about you can't find it.
Yeah, but Monique, man, that's my girl, man. And here's the crazy thing, though. A lot of times we've argued down on this show, and over the course of time, now we find out that not only was Monique right, but Marv is right too. Y'all won't admit it, but y'all know.
Why can't we just agree to disagree?
Yeah, I mean the bonnet thing is like whatever. The other stuff is, I don't know,
Yeah, I disagree with her methods mostly.
Yeah.
Now she don't do everything perfectly, but on that one particular situation that really, really catapulted her into the news, that's really why I was riding for her. There's things like I didn't like how she handled, when her and her son were going back and forth on social media. there's a lot of things that she's done that I don't like, and I've said it before.
Mhm.
She's a brilliant actress, brilliant, brilliant. You can't hate on that. Her comedy, it ain't for me.
Not for me either.
But I can look past that and say, okay, there's a bigger picture for Black women and Black people. So that's why I ride for her. And a lot of people couldn't really embrace that concept. It was like, well, what you mean? You don't even like her comedy? No, not really. But she a Black woman, and I can and I feel like she's been done wrong.
I mean, but if we're judging comedy to comedy, and I don't think she's funny, then how's you doing? That's like I went to a Cat Williams show and I fell asleep. I love comedy shows. He came back here. I didn't go. So, I mean, it's like, and I still will probably watch what he does on TV or whatever else, and I might watch the stand up later on. But if I'm not a fan, I'm not a fan.
But here's the thing, and we ain't, cause y'all know we'll go there.
You'll go, yeah.
Yes.
Here's the thing. She has an audience.
Mhm.
And you could go to her show and you might fall asleep, but guaranteed her audience is going to be laughing, rolling, running through the aisles. And for that, you see Monique still relevant, and that damn white girl, I don't hear nothing about her, Amy Schumer.
He just had that dumb movie.
But yeah, I ain't heard nothing about her.
It's on Netflix called Kinda Pregnant, where she pretends to be pregnant. There's one part on there where I almost died laughing.
Man,
So I was
guess who
also,
ain't guess who ain't gonna watch it?
Right. I ain't gonna lie, you talk about that, and we talk about the Falcons coach. So it's just certain stuff that white people find funny or this. I wouldn't even kind of pregnant. Don't even sound like a movie I will even have any desire to watch,
That sounds like
yeah.
something I would watch, like if I'm trying to hit, and that's like,
man. Background, huh?
yeah, I gotta go over here and I gotta watch this bullshit with her. That was the shit I did with my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching like something about Mary.
Date movies.
Something about Mary is actually funny
I
though.
was about to
It
say,
is
now that's kind
that
of
is
funny
funny.
though.
Ben Stiller's hilarious.
That's just
Something
about to
about
say you
Mary.
watching the
Yeah,
Notebook.
it's
It's funny.
definitely a date movie, not a movie you just like, ooh, this looks hilarious. Let me turn it on. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was all right.
how do y'all think we have evolved since we started the show? So we said what we about 6 years in, 200 episodes. How do you think we've changed over the years?
I'm drunk less.
I think part of it is we've lived different, you've obviously lived more in life in that time. So you have different experience. And I think part of it is actually the show. So sometimes we might not agree, but you could respect somebody else's point of view, and then another situation may happen, and you're more open to looking at different sides or different perspectives because you see the value in it. I think, at least me personally. So
Yeah, I think I've definitely grown as far as being able to articulate my arguments because I think that there's a different skill set for arguing in court where you're explaining things to people using, certain legal terms or making points where we all pretty much can anticipate what somebody's going to say based on what we've written and everything. But being in the moment and hearing somebody's like opinion and then articulating a response to it and, actually drawing from our life experiences and whatnot, I think I've gotten a lot better at the more, you know, natural
yeah.
like debates as opposed to legal debates.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that we have become less defiant as a show. I remember for a while there, we were really going hard body against the system status quo for the Black community. And I think as a collective, folks found out that, we were right. Um, I remember when Hillary lost to Trump, and there was a lot of finger pointing, and who's gonna blame this part of the Black community, and we really were just like, hey, no, I mean, she didn't run a good campaign. Uh, she was a qualified candidate, overqualified candidate, but she wasn't. She was a flawed candidate at the same time.
Mhm.
And I think that we really were battling folks in the comments, battling folks, on our social media posts. And I think now we're able to articulate our thoughts and our our opinions on things, and there's less anger, about what we do, and I think that's come with age, it's come with life experiences. I mean, we still keep it real, we keep it 100% black, 100% real all the time. But I just think that we've mellowed out just a tad bit, and as you should, you're younger, you full of fire and brimstone and stuff, so it's a tad bit different. But we
And the
we are
functioning.
calling out the BS, especially like with this current administration. It's like
Yeah.
every day, like you trying to pull African American history, from museums, you giving cops immunity, you're doing all these things. Like the loud stuff, the loud things are deporting children that are undergoing cancer treatment,
U.S. citizen
U.S.
kids.
and it's U.S. citizens, and got deporting people, and you say, oh, he got tattoos on his hand. It was like, nah, it actually was Photoshop.
Yeah,
you know,
that's about the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen a sitting president say, man. That's
Silly.
ridiculous, man.
But here's the thing, and this is why they are dangerous, because that's the loud stuff. The things that they're doing to us, they're very, very quiet about it, extremely quiet about it. Like they just gutted, like the Voting Rights Act,
Mm-hmm.
whatever part of the Justice Department that's supposed to look into investigations and make sure that U.S. citizens have the protection that's given under that law. They gutted that department. So
Mhm.
if there's claims that are made, if there's accusations made, lawsuits filed, who's going to handle them?
I think they said about 117 civil rights attorneys for the government are about to
Mm-hmm.
retire. They reopened the early retirement package thing for them, and they like, we're not going to proceed how they're trying to rescript our jobs to be. So they almost we just out of here. And they're not going to hire nobody in them spots.
No.
No.
So
Mm-hmm.
basically, they basically, being in corporate America, they just manage them out. We'll make the situation so untenable that
Mm-hmm.
you just leave. We ain't got to
Yeah.
fire you or anything like that. Just go ahead and bounce a little dirty. We good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we definitely going to continue to call it out. People are going to continue to uh, need this information. And so, we're going to continue to do that. Y'all see Elon? They talking about Elon. Elon's like, man, I'm gonna have to go back to my first job. My second job got me messed up. The Tesla stock, plummeted, and I think he's done what he's supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
because for him, he's done what he's
Yeah.
supposed to do for him because I saw somebody. It was some. I don't know if it was a U.S. representative. It had to be a U.S. representative. And they were talking about the things that it's all been one grift, and we've always called that out. So the weather service, um, Elon basically got his business, which is now Starlink. What's the space company he has? SpaceX.
SpaceX.
He
Yeah.
got SpaceX handling the weather service. I think it was FAA. I could be wrong about this. Somebody, the communications. He's got Starlink with
Yep.
that. So and the number of Teslas, those little ugly ass cyber trucks that they negotiated to sell to the U.S. government. He made such a bomb investment in Trump because it's paid out for him.
Yep.
Because honestly, he's the richest man in the world. And let me see how if I can explain this effectively. A lot of that is based off him taking out loans off of his businesses. So if he's not generating enough revenue to keep the collateral, then people call it in and he's short. So he's got
Mm-hmm.
to constantly. It's almost like a Ponzi scheme, and the rich do it. And I know I'm not explaining it effectively, but you get the point.
No, you're right.
If he
They're
doesn't keep
not
if he doesn't keep
rich.
revenue coming in so that he can continue to get other people's money,
Mm-hmm.
keep doing other things, then it's a problem. So what did he do? He got it off the American people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's his whole thing was he was like, if you're gonna buy this, if you're gonna give me these contracts, I'm gonna do any and everything you want me to do. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's all business for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild. So where y'all want to see us go with this show? I know what I want us to do, but I want to hear from y'all.
I
Go
like
to the
doing the live
moon on
shows together.
SpaceX. To the moon.
No, I like when we do the live shows.
Elon, bang our cash app. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bang our
You
cash
got it.
Hey,
$. Man, listen, show Elon. Elon sent us some money, we taking it.
hey, it's a quick question. I'm tired, hey man, whatever. But I'm a quick sidebar. So there's Elon University or whatever. Apparently, their enrollment and applications have dropped. Seriously, I don't, you know how little stuff, insignificant stuff has a factor in that kind of stuff. And they're saying it's because Elon Musk has a bad name and he's tarnished the name Elon.
They're not even associated with each other.
I understand, but just,
Just the association, because who wants that on their diploma?
yeah, or who wants to have a sweatshirt on that says Elon?
You probably did. They probably did something though.
Yeah.
They probably did something. I don't know, but they probably did something. So we just don't know about it. But Rika, what was you gonna say?
That's it. More live shows.
But y'all didn't answer the question though. Elon bang our cash app. Said, listen,
Yes.
I'm gonna invest in the show. We taking it.
Hell
Okay. Yeah, man, probably. I can't, as Jay said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so what do y'all trolls holler at Elon and say, hey man, you gonna need some money. We split it 4 ways. Yeah, but shout out to C. But you said more live episodes?
I do. The live episodes are fun, and they really are. It's just we all over the country though, so it's tough. But.
Yeah. My vision for the show is to keep doing what we're doing, and honestly, I want to add to what we're doing. We've always said that the real show, the real entertainment, is after we cut, because we talking, we laughing. We remember I used to say like we don't curse on the show. I kind of got lax with that. We have to get back to it because Rika been tripping lately.
Lately,
Yeah,
I was tripping all the time with that
nah,
rule.
you tripping with that one word. You did 2
I've
episodes.
been doing excellent considering how much I use that word in my everyday life.
And listen, you better get back to it. But honestly, we have a Patreon. We never used it. But, going forward, more episodes, more paid content, us really, stepping up the game and, y'all being able to get inside, not all the way into our lives, but, we are, most of us, we still got the corporate job. And, if y'all want to keep it, we keep it 100% real, but we got to be creative with how real we keep it. If y'all get what I'm saying, because, can't get it out there. But you get that Patreon and, enough of y'all subscribe, hey, shit, we might be able to leave corporate America and y'all really get the real deal.
It'd be like our tariffs,
Right.
It'd be like a tariff for us. Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something. I got grown kids and I love them. Period. They are annoying because grown kids have grown kid problems. Grown kids have grown people problems. So when you have to assist them with that, it's a problem. These folks have got like young kids that you got to feed at least 2 to 3 times a day. I don't know how y'all making it because these damn tariffs got the groceries. I'm by myself and I'm up here like, do I really need that? Do I really need this right here?
Hey man.
Look, look. But when my kid, I have 4 kids in the house, spaghetti, chili, that shit is gonna last for like a week. I saw a meme that says most Black children have eaten more spaghetti than the average Italian in their whole lifetime.
That is the truth. Hey, listen, it works.
It gets you through it. Is what it's
Yeah.
Scraggle
You
Mill.
know how to get through the hard
Bone
times.
apple tea. Yeah.
Yeah, Scraggle Mill. What's your what's your go-to Scraggle Mill? Yeah,
Spaghetti.
and yes, I said Scraggle.
Yes. For sure, spaghetti.
So man, honestly, you might
Honestly,
not.
if you can make spaghetti, you're not really struggling.
I was about to say you might not call it a struggle meal. At least I don't, because shoot, when I'm living high on the hog, I eat it. I eat this meal. That's all. Man, I love me a good hot dog, man. Just give me a pack of hot dogs and a pack of buns. That's cheap, man.
Can't eat the glizzies, dog. And it's turned into it's turned into a closet, homophobic joke now. But growing up, I literally lived a block away from an OC plant.
Mm.
So when you see what is driven in there to make bologna and hot dogs, because I used to tear a fried bologna sandwich up.
Hey man, I had fried bologna last week, man.
You couldn't tell me nothing about Spam.
When you see that ain't went too far.
Hey man, they sell fried bologna at the cafeteria at my gig downstairs in the diner.
Hey, listen, but when you see what goes into there, oh my gosh, it'll cure you real quick.
No, I like bologna.
What's the BOL? What's the
My bologna has a first.
It has a first name.
Yeah, but I messed that all up. But but one time, man, I was in the car with my mom, and it was like, man, what in the hell is that smell? And it was this dump truck, and all you see is like horse, cow, hooves, all kind of shit. They listen up. I'm telling you, they just ground all that up.
Yeah,
it's a literal mystery meat, and you eat it.
I just get the beef ones though. I've graduated. I only get the all beef hot dogs.
Yeah. So how we talking about that?
No, because you talking about struggle meal, literally. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
yeah, give me a hot dog,
I got
hot dogs and a pack of buns. I'm good, man.
I got y'all beat. This is back when I was still living in St. Louis, and I was poor. I would go and get pack of turkey bacon, and then I would get a box of that pancake mix that you didn't even have to put milk into.
Yeah, just the water. Just add water. Yeah,
water. And I was like, shit, this gonna be dinner for the week. and it gets you through.
Yeah,
that's a struggle meal right there.
Hey, back then you could even get eggs and add it. It wasn't expensive.
Right. Back then. One time I was so poor. One, I was staying in an apartment where the lights was off. So not only did I split a can of SpaghettiOs with Portia, but we had to warm it up over a candle. I was like, hey man. Hey, I was like, people love me, man. I'm going home.
I'm gonna tell you
that's some Mad Max stuff right there.
That is, because you could just run the quick trip and use that microwave. But
we ain't had no. If the lights was off, they ain't had no gas money. So
no, you just probably was just staying out all day, so you wouldn't have to go home, do whatever else, and you're like, okay, then we get home. It's bedtime. Yeah,
That's one thing I ain't never did was have my lights off. Thank God.
Right. We had our lights off for a couple of days because of a storm, but
not for not paying the bill.
No, right. But I mean, because of a storm, it's like, hey, now you remember C was like, I've never had to overdraft.
Yeah, because we was talking about it. That was another fun episode. That's our first live show, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I've never had overdraft.
I was just like, never?
Yeah, because we was in KC and we was talking about it because this is when I was living in St. Louis, and I was talking about how like the overdraft fees took my whole check. Like literally took my whole check. He was like, nah, I ain't never had no overdraft. We was like, yeah, spoken like a true Republican. Spoken like because them overdraft fees used to kill me, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Used to kill me.
I hate Bank of America for that very reason.
Man, exactly.
I'll never go back to Bank of America.
That's
never.
why, exactly. That's why
I
ain't with Bank of America.
and there's one common denominator. It was me, but not balancing my
I
stuff.
just feel like Bank of America was excessive over all
Right.
the others that I've had
Definitely
problems with.
was.
This okay. If I overdraft my account, that's on me.
Mhm.
But the shady stuff that they would do was they would take the largest transaction
Yeah.
First.
to overdraft it first. And then every time, all the little ones, you got banged with an overdraft fee.
Mm-hmm.
Overdraft. It's like, wait a minute, that's not in chronological order. And
Yeah.
they came with the whole, well, we figured because it was a higher dollar amount that it was more important. So that's why we
Nah, you
Yeah.
know what you was doing.
no.
And you know what? You talk about saying the loud stuff and the quiet stuff. That's another thing they did is they're trying to pull back some of those banking regulations as
Yep.
far as overdraft fees and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because now a lot of banks, if it's like a charge under $5, they won't hit you with overdraft charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like you said previously, you buy something that's $2.99, and because the way they order the transaction, you're gonna get an overdraft charge. You're paying 35 or whatever $25 it was for that $2.99 transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get rid of that now.
They was eating off of them fees.
Yeah, to where they can go back and do that.
Man, they was eating on us tough, boy. And I
Yeah.
listen, yeah, yeah. Thank God for deliverance. I ain't doing that no more. You know, there be some lean times, but yeah, we ain't doing that. But yeah, 200 episodes. I just have to say, man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for believing in me. Thank y'all for doing this. For those who don't know, the whole reason why we started this show was because I was having that midlife crisis, and God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but shout out to my ex-wife because she was like, "Yo, you need to find something to do.
Yeah.
You need to find something to focus on because eventually, you know, your kid's gonna be grown and you need something." And she was right. You think about it, having this show, having you all, because I respected all three of y'all. That's the reason why I asked you to be on the show because my mind frame was like, okay, we're gonna have this show where we're gonna give our opinions, and sometimes I be messing up, so I need some people who gonna have my back and who are smarter than me, so that if people come at me, they got my back. And you know, I asked all y'all was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And you know, we've grown, we developed, and we moved forward. And you think about it, this show really got me through some dark times. It got me through the initial dark time, and then you know, Lab talked about it 5 years ago when the pandemic hit. I wasn't going out, and you know, my family was doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was the people I was talking to. Yeah, I mean, we was doing the show every week, sometimes twice a week, because we
Yeah.
weren't
Man,
going nowhere.
man, that was that I'm thinking back. You're not lying because at that time, yeah, we wasn't going nowhere, wasn't going to work. My wife was on the road still every week for work. So I was literally Sunday through Friday just at the crib by myself, all me and the dog, all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Just, seriously.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't thank y'all enough. Shout out to C. I mean, I love y'all, and I just appreciate what we've done, and you know, obviously, gonna keep rocking until we get to 300, and you know, bigger and better things. And thank you to everybody that listens. You know, it really. I talked about it before, how like when we started the show, um, I was mad because I was like, damn man, I support everybody. I like you got your, you know what I mean, little dusty books and things that I've got. I was buying kids books from people that,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even have no little kids at the time. My kids was grown, just doing
Mm-hmm.
everything to support. And I felt like people weren't doing that. And again, I know my personality can rub people the wrong way. Don't matter. I don't care. But I was like, damn man, people ain't even supporting the show. And it taught me a popular lesson that if you only are marketing and selling to the people that you know, you don't really have a business. There's what billions, millions, billions of people in this world. You need to try to go get them to support you. And it was crazy how I would see people who I was cool with, but I would consider them more like an associate, right? And they would walk up to me and they'd be singing, "Man, listen, listen." I was like, "Singing you singing the show?" They said, "Man, I listen to every episode." I'm like, "What? Okay, thank you." Then I got people who like my boys, and I know they don't listen. They don't even give me a click just so they can say like I got a view. I know they don't. Even though I would do the same for them, but anyway. But just thank everybody. Um, Shout out to Tony Emeralds. The theme music that we have. He made that. That brother passed away from cancer. A couple years ago. But he laced the show with that beat, and yeah, man, I just really appreciate y'all. Y'all got anything y'all want to say?
No, I'm grateful for y'all. And I'm grateful that, I mean, I was like, you know what I mean? The foundation of our relationship from Mizzou was one thing, but I think now, like I said, you guys are a much more integral part of my life. And I'd be like, really like, why haven't I talked to them this week? What are they doing? And I'd be looking forward to the show, especially the after when we really just be like catching up on life and everything. But yes, I think we're hilarious.
Yeah. And the thing about it is they don't even really get to see 100% of our personalities.
Right, right.
No, not the full, scope of them all. But Lab, you got anything you want to say?
Nah, just like y'all, man. I'm thankful for y'all, man. Love y'all too. And it's something that, yeah, I look forward to, but at the same time, it's one of those deals where I think this keeps me, because I'm not as active on like social media as I once was and stuff like that. So I think it does kind of keep me engaged a little bit. If it wasn't for the show, I probably wouldn't be even as active as I am on IG, which isn't very. So yeah.
And for
Yeah,
those
like paying more attention to what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just, the little memes and stuff we'll send, or when a story pops up, I got a group, you got different group chats and stuff like that. It's like when it's actual news story that's affecting the Black community, this is the one I always respond
Yeah.
to and stuff like,
Yeah.
so
And let's address the elephant in the room. Um, C hasn't been on the show, but there is no beef. It's all love, and she'll be back. So, shout out to C. Actually, the very first episode was me and C, and we did a review of the Black Panther movie, and we both was nervous, and it was something else. But our very first episode was just me and C. And sometimes it'll just be like me and one of the others. I think I'm the only person that's been on every single episode. And that's probably because I'm the one that got to record it.
right. You got all the equipment right now.
Right.
You are essential.
Yeah, because sometimes I'd be like, man, I don't want to be on the show. Um, it was one episode where C and I was talking about Jonathan Majors,
Mm.
and it was the one where he was on the couch and he was dressed all crazy, and I was in my bag. I was talking. I was like, see, he making duck lips. And the way C was going off of me, man, this shit was hilarious. I was editing the show. I was like, this is hilarious to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I don't know if anybody else is laughing, but this is funny. Because
Mhm.
C's very like deadpan,
Hmm.
but C is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I remember one joke. We was arguing about the bonnets. We was debating the bonnets. And Arika is pro bonnet at the Quick Trip. Arika wearing the bonnets and the house slippers, looking like she ain't bathed in the morning time and all that else.
Yes.
Rika was like, I just got a brand new bonnet. And C said, don't let it leave the house. And then see when I was laughing about shit too. I was saying some ignorant stuff, man. I guarantee C would have to mute herself and be rolling, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get her back on, y'all. We're gonna get her back on. We're gonna get our lovable Republican back on the show. But
Yeah.
200 something episodes. Still black, still keeping it real. And we just appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go to our Facebook and our Instagram at Man Listen Show. And hey, this is 200 episodes. need everybody to go to our Cash App, $ Man Listen Show, and give us $200. If we get if we get 200 people to give us $200, we still got to go to work, but it'd be nice. Anyway, we'll holler you next time. Peace. Oh, I didn't say it right. Anyway, I think we talked about it enough.
About enough.
We'll holler you next time. Peace. Shout out to C.
Bye, C.